So, Bournemouth 2, Arsenal 3. Declan Rice FC is back in full flow with his knee absolutely juiced up with cortisone or whatever the hell whatever it is they inject it with. Declan probably shouldn't have been on the pitch. However, if he weren't on the pitch, we ain't winning that game. Yeah, because he was absolutely fantastic today. Their early signs were like, boy, we're effing around and finding out. The bozo gene was back again. Gabby Magalhaes effing around, passing Evan Nilsson in. Our goalkeeper going walkabout. Easiest goal Evan Nilsson will ever score. However, Gabby redeemed himself by getting the equaliser from great play from Noni Madueke, who started over Saka. Finally, the guy who gets a rest. Finally. But Kenny Ken 1972 on Insta. I've already shared his stories. Make sure you follow Kenny. Kenny, when we went 3-1 up, I can't lie, I was like, cool, now take Odegaard off because I thought he was useless today. Yeah. And people say, but he got an assist. Yeah, cool, he got an assist. Whoopie-doo, mate. Yeah, I thought he slowed us down. There's times on transition where all he has to do is a little outside of the boot pass down the wing to Martinelli and we're gone. Instead, he takes 3-4 touches, loses the ball. Trossard did the same when he came. Yeah, and I'm surprised Trossard never started. But you score goals at this club, you get bench lads. Yeah, that's how it works. But Kenny, give us your beautiful insight on the game, my friend. And a Happy New Year to you as well.
Happy New Year to you as well. First thing I want to say, what a game. What credit to Bournemouth. I thought Bournemouth were fantastic. You know, they haven't won in 11 games. But you wouldn't know it, how they approached the game. They showed no fear. Got in our faces. Got a goal that would fortuitous to us. I think an early Christmas present. And they tried, you know, but I'll have to shake Gabby Magalhaes' hand. You know, like 5 minutes later, gets up for the corner routine, blasts it in the back of the net. But I thought the first half, there were certain things I noticed. I began to see the annoyance with Zubimendi. Good on the ball, but he's not press resistant. He gets pressed, he gets caught in possession. And I saw things today that, you know, were making me think, yeah, I get where people come from. I wasn't happy with him. Martin Odegaard is what he is on the tin. He'll slow this game. He slows the game down. That's who he is, you know. But the fact is that he will always get games because he's our captain. So, you know, poor old Mese would just have to wait and just probably hope that the guy gets injured before he gets any form of football. But, you know, I thought, you know, in the game, I thought, like I said, Brook played well. I thought Evan Nilsson held the ball up really well for Bournemouth. I thought Kluivert played really well. I thought Semenyo looked really strong. And we were a bit struggling because Bournemouth kind of took the kind of recipe that we've seen a lot of teams since the Sunderland game, where teams are showing no fear. They are getting in our faces, and they're trying to get bodies forward. But you know what I liked about us today is in the second half, we kind of we responded. You know, as much as you know, Odegaard deserves a bit of criticism because he slowed the game down. I thought him and our good friend you know, Goalscorer combined really well for the equaliser. Goalscorer holds the ball up. You know, Odegaard puts in a plate for Declan, and Declan puts a beautiful goal in. Yeah. And after that, I thought
technical.
Yeah, it was a good technical. But you know what I thought? I generally thought that, you know, Bournemouth still had a chance in this. I thought they, you know, like I said, that they do what they're doing before, get a couple of chances. Who knows? Maybe they make it difficult for us. But what we did really well is that we managed the game well. We made the right substitutes at the right time. Took off Martinelli, who I thought was ineffective again. I thought Goalscorer did his best, but doing your best just ain't good enough for this football club. You know, it's another win in spite of Goalscorer. People are going to say, "Oh yeah, he did really well today. He held the ball up. He brought people out to play." Sorry, mate, we didn't pay all that money for you to do that. We paid money for you to score goals, and you're not scoring goals, and you don't look like you. You know the thing about Goalscorer, and it's not a criticism. It's just an observation. He doesn't look like he's going to score.
Do you think that's a confidence issue, or do you think that's a system issue, or both?
All right. Let's look at the similarities. Sunderland's right. Last seconds of injury time, Reinders gets on, He's on his left-hand side. It's not his strong side. And he's basically on the floor, and he's had a shot that goes straight down the throat of the keeper. You got Haaland screaming his nuts off, thinking, "Why don't you pass to me?"
Yeah.
If that was Goalscorer, he'd have been going, "Oh," he would have said nothing. He's not assertive enough to do well here. He's too compliant. He's compliant with the manager, and he's just not like he's just happy to be here, and that's not good enough for this football club. Now we've won the game, but it's got to be a situation when we get into the straight, we're going to need this guy to start stepping up and winning games and scoring the goals we pay for. Because at the moment, it's moments. Declan Rice had 2 moments. Gabriel having to come out of the traps to rectify his mistake. But when you look at that, that's a good win because of who Bournemouth are and what they can do. But moving forward, we have to, we need more from Goalscorer. We need more goals. And if he can't cut it at this level, then we're going to have to drop him and play Gabby, Jesus, and God forbid it might have to be Kai Havertz, because at this stage, when it gets into the business side of things, you can't.
Yeah, we need wins.
Yeah, because you know what happens, right? Back in the day, right? When there's tight games that you're going to have in the last, how many games we've got left? 20?
18
games left. In those sort of like, we're going to have there's going to be certain games where teams are going to be camped out, and you're going to need your striker to come in and win and get that little goal, the tapping.
I'm winning.
Yeah, we're not seeing that from Victor. What we're seeing is a set.
We're not really seeing. Sorry to cut over you, Kenny. Yeah? We're not really seeing that from any of our forwards. Yeah. Yes, I hear you. Trossard scored, and Trossard's probably been our best attacker this season.
Mm.
Yeah, but none of them are mad clinical. Yeah, Trossard. If you think back to the second game, he slaps on top bings. The game against Villa, he slaps on bottom bings. Yeah, none of our forwards are clinical. Not one of them.
But you know what? I know, but the difference is there's a difference. Oh, you're offside. The difference. All right, mate. I can see you. I can see you.
Sorry, Kenny. Go on.
Yeah. The difference is, right, these are goal scorers and these players are forwards that also create. Victor's job is the striker. A striker's a centre forward and that striker gets goals. Victor don't get goals. And that's the situation. Victor doesn't look like he's going to score in any way, shape or form. That's a concern, especially when, we've had to rely on Declan Rice. We've had to rely on Jesus. So not Jesus, Magalesh. In the last few games, we're having to do that. We're having to rely on players, other players to get goals, a winger to get a goal, a defender to get a goal, a midfielder to get a goal. Whilst you've got a centre forward, and we're praising this centre forward because this centre forward holds the ball up, because this centre forward, his centre forward can bring people into play. Well, we didn't play for that. We didn't, in no way, shape, or form did we play for that. So it is a concern, and we got to keep talking about it because we're winning games.
Thanks, Kenny.
But there's going to be a
Kenny, we're winning games in spite of our performances at times. Yeah.
Today I thought
one of our better games. However, on the flip side of that, we've done stupidness and gifted them their first goal. Yeah. All of a sudden, if they just go and park the bus, which apparently everyone does, that would make it a long day. Instead, they wanted to keep attacking, which is why they're 15th for one.
We are gonna play teams that are going to park the bus. Liverpool. Where's our next league game? Right? Our next league game. Yeah, see, our next league game is Liverpool, and then obviously after Liverpool, it's going to be it's not the Forest. Liverpool, not the Forest, because when we got Chelsea, we got Liverpool. They're going to park the bus, and then after Nottingham Forest, we got
Forest are parking the bus with Dyche all day long.
Yeah. Forest will park the bus. Man United, what in the league will probably be stupid.
Leeds United will be a tough.
You know what Man United would lose? They'll be stupid enough to have a go. If they park the bus, then it's a different kind of game. And after Man United, we've got our next game is Leeds at Ellen Road. You saw what they did against Liverpool. They parked the bus.
That's a tough game, that is. That's a tough game.
So it's one of those things where.
But this is the thing. We've got 8 more games this month, Kenny. That's why when people are sitting there saying to me on my watch along, oh, but you said Declan was man of the match, but you didn't want Declan playing. Yeah, cool. Did you see his knee? His knee's swollen, bro. Yeah, that guy has had a cortisone injection or a horse tranquilizer one, the ketamine one. Yeah, that guy was insane. Without Declan today, Kenny, we don't win the game.
Yeah, but let me tell you something. What
have we put him through that? Because now we've got 8 more games.
Yeah, but Mikel won't be the only manager doing that, because at the end of the day, Declan wants to play at the World Cup. He thinks there's an opportunity to win the World Cup. So can you imagine? All right, when's the World Cup finals in the middle of July? Can you imagine what his summer's going to be like? He ain't going to enjoy his summer. He's going to be recuperating, and then two weeks later, Arteta's going to say pre-season. That guy is going to break down
again, and then all of a sudden he's got another 70 games. Bro, he's going to be fucked either this season or next season. That's why. So that's why other players have to take, step up. So Mendy, like I said, he has to. Mendy played all right today. Yeah, but I hear what you say about when you press him, he folds. I told everyone.
Yeah. But you know what? I think Mikel Arteta is going to allow that. Is going to sort of like be tolerant of that, because what he wants from Martin Zubimendi is he wants more control. He wants Declan to get up the pitch, and he's going to sort of tolerate that for now. But next season, I think you'll expect Zubimendi to move the ball quicker and be more press resistant. But look, we've won the game.
It wouldn't surprise me if Zubimendi becomes a bench player next season. But listen, Kenny,
you never know. You never know what's going to happen in January. I know Mikel wants a player. He's expressed that, whether he get one or not. But one thing. What I really want is that today was a much better response to the dull performances we saw, and obviously Aston Villa was a good second half. What I want more now is that when it gets into like the business end of the season, we need more from Victor. We need goals. He doesn't
made it off, Odegaard squared it, and then Declan scores. Apart from that, let's be real, Kenny. Yeah, he's been a flop. Yeah, and I rate him. Yeah, and I do rate him. He's been a flop.
Well, you know what, Isley. Before we go, if he turns up and starts scoring goals in the business end of the season, we'll forget the other performances. That's what football's about. We'll forget it.
Same with Noni. Noni ain't got a league goal. Kenny ain't got a league goal. Everyone's like, oh, he was amazing.
Yeah, but Noni will always get away with that, because ultimately he's there to supply. Victor will never get away with away from getting a trap, because he was bought with a lot of fanfare. He was bought instead of Šeško. Everyone says that he was going to be the big difference. That one of the reasons why we didn't win anything last season, because we hadn't got a goal scorer. We created all these chances, but we didn't have anyone to put the ball in the back of the net. Well, we got a goal scorer. Doesn't look like scoring.
Facts. On that bombshell, we're out. Kenny, Happy New Year to you and your family. I love you so much.
When are you back in Andalusia?
Tomorrow afternoon.
Oh, fair.
Yeah, my flight's
you'll have your Wi-Fi back.
So yeah, Northside's been hosting me. What a guy, man!
Big up, man.
Fucking love this guy.
Northside, mate. I can't. Hey, you've done fantastically. Well, it was a big decision to leave North London, but hey, it's worked out for you.
We got the job done,
mate.
I done the deal's not a completed deal. He completed the deal.
Yeah, but I tell you what, it's good for you.
I'm moving to Barcelona in the summer.
Yeah, but you know what it is with Northside? At least he's multilingual.
That's what I'm saying. See Kenny, Kenny's just killed me. Kenny, I love you. Kenny's Instagram, yeah? Kenny Ken 1972. Kenny, I love you. Appreciate it. Happy New Year to you and your family, Kenny, man. I appreciate you so much, my guy.
Love, my guy.
Love.